Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert, joined here by...
As always, your second favorite, Stephen Bagliacco.
And your first favorite...
Stop doing that.
Why?
Because I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like the praise. I'm uncomfortable with it.
Oh. You're the star of the show, man.
I'm uncomfortable.
You're the star of the show.
I'm not the star.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Anthony.
Who's the star of the show then?
I think the three of us are the star of the show.
You're so
it's
nice.
A group effort.
Spoken like a real commie.
Spoken like a real top guy, just saying, "Hey, we're a team."
Yeah. Well, guys, let's get our first order of business out of the way.
What's the first order of business?
Black Friday for those in the U.S. Right. Let me pull up that date so I could tell the foreign listeners who don't get a Black Friday. That is November 24th, midnight. So the 23rd at midnight, as it becomes the 24th, Eastern Standard Time, our first bonus podcast album will be released.
Not just the Steely Dan song.
Yeah.
Yes. This Ain't No Whack Christmas. Our first Christmas podcast will be up there. Check it out.
What about the other one?
What do you mean?
Is there going to be two?
Yeah.
Well, that's the name of the album. This Ain't No Whack Christmas is the album. You get more than
one thing.
And you get multiple pods.
Yeah.
One pod is Christmas games featuring a lot of guests and TSD Town alumni.
Yep.
And if you look at the cover, you'll see some guests and there's others not listed.
There's more.
And we tried to find a way to get all past guests involved, and I think we did a pretty good job, some would say.
Yeah.
And the other track on that album is a bonus track where we will be covering the Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm.
So you get two pods.
Sarge Jibba Stewart.
Mary. Oh, Mary. Steve doesn't get that yet because he hasn't watched it.
But I will.
But you're going to get two tracks of Reviewing History content for only $5. Half of the money is going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It's a charity that's near and dear to my heart.
How much is Beaver going to hate that uncle?
Oh, he's going to have no forgiveness for him. I can't wait to talk about that.
Oh.
But
no.
St. Jude's is a charity that's near and dear to my heart. This isn't a complete cash grab. Half of everything we make from the album.
Not a complete. It's just a half cash grab.
Cash grab.
Right.
Got to be honest. Half the money is going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. On Bandcamp, you have the option to give more money than the album costs. If you do that, we will still honor the deal, and we will be sending half of everything we make to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
I think if they're going to send extra, we should send all of the extra.
The extra just goes to St. Jude, not to us.
We're not going to take half of that extra money, Brian. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It's a 50-50
They're not sending extra money so you make more.
Dumbass.
They're sending extra money to donate to charity.
Well, I was hoping we could make a little extra scratch.
No, Scrooge.
No. Scrooge, the St. Jude thing was my idea.
Oh, it's my idea. Give to charity. See, that's why you should give me money, because I'm going to give some to charity. No. All the extra goes to charity.
Trying to make us a little scratch here, and I'm getting turned down.
Yeah.
There you are.
Because you're doing it in underhanded, ruthless ways.
How?
You're stealing from kids.
Yeah.
It's not stealing.
We're trying to help children.
They can mess with a lot of things, but they can't mess with kids on Christmas.
And you're just, give me money.
Anyway, so go check that out. I had so much fun making that album. I can't wait for people to hear it. Check that out. We also have on the website right now, limited edition print of the album cover. It will go away December 26th, never to return.
Yep. It's an ugly Christmas sweater or a holiday t-shirt.
Yes. So it's your choice of if you want to get it. It's the cover on a shirt, limited edition.
I think you got one, right?
I have one. It will go away the 26th, and that's it. All right.
Let's go.
So,
you're
guys,
a little snippy today.
Oh, I mean, we recorded a pick episode that was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, our pick episodes are usually we barely get to an hour. So I was kind of anticipating that. And when you said it was over 2 hours, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you guys went on some tangents.
All right. So, Ant, this was a movie you wanted to do.
I did, yes. So
Because you made the vow we will only do Catholic movies from now on the show.
Well, it just worked out that way. I have nothing to do with that. Actually, I do have something to do with that, but that was not my intention. And by the way, this is the most secular movie ever.
You're so wrong.
No, Ann is right.
I'm 100% right.
Ann is right because of the back half of the movie.
Yeah.
The first half.
Yeah. Well, they changed a few key things to make it less Catholic anyway. But
yeah.
But that's besides the point. But just why I picked this.
Sure. You were watching The Fifth Element.
I haven't had a pick in like 16 to 17 episodes of this show. I have not chosen any.
We've had a lot of
movies.
guests.
It was all Brian.
I'm so sick of the 20th century. I fucking hate it. I want some actual history on the history podcast.
Okay.
And on top of that, I was trying to find some movies. I was searching out obscure movies to watch, and I came across a couple that really interested me. One was The Deluge, which is a Polish movie. There's like Vlad the Impaler movie. There's a couple of Spanish movies I wanted to watch. But then I was looking at Amazon for something to watch with my wife. We ended up watching Sleepy Hollow for anyone who's interested.
Okay.
And I came across.
Did you like it?
Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it a million times.
Okay.
It's great. Yeah.
It's good.
I came across The Messenger. Now, I had this vague memory when this came out of seeing like commercials for it on TV. But then I saw it's Mila Jovovich,
Yes.
which is weird because like she doesn't act.
Yes, she does.
No, she makes fucking Resident Evils. Stop it.
Fifth Element.
Well, and then I saw it was Luc Besson,
Yeah.
which is like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I love Luc Besson.
Yeah.
How have I not seen this? So I wanted to watch The Messenger.
So the Holy Ghost didn't arrive in your living room to be like, you need to watch
No,
My Greatness.
No, it wasn't this.
It wasn't that?
It wasn't
All right.
that.
All right.
Luc Besson
Because that's what happened to me when I accepted.
made the greatest movie of all time, and it's called The Fifth Element.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys love that movie.
It's one of the best sci-fis
perfect.
ever made. It's
I
perfect.
like it.
It
perfect.
I don't
probably
love
is
it like
the
you
best
guys.
sci-fi ever made.
It's all style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of that style bleeds into this a little
Yes.
bit.
Oh,
A
yeah.
little bit. A little bit. Yeah.
You could tell this is a Luc Besson movie.
Yes.
But I'll say this is a step up of when it comes to
Somebody gave him a lot of money.
storytelling.
Yeah.
When it comes to storytelling,
And he
this is a
lost it all.
step up. This did a lot.
This is a bomb, right?
Oh, yeah. This did not make its money back.
I didn't know he got married to Mila Jovovich.
They were married, yeah.
And how do we feel about that other movie where he made another space movie,
Valerian?
Valerian, where it's the
We liked it.
I like Valerian, and like the first like maybe 5 minutes with Space
incredible.
Oddity playing is like the best thing like ever filmed.
you love
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah, have you
incredible.
seen the opening?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
It's amazing.
I've seen it.
The opening sequence is amazing. With
That
That was
humanity,
the
like
International Space Station.
yeah.
Bad
Yeah, that's
casting, bad casting, but good movie.
Well, you know,
yeah. So that's my big.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say about it. We're supposed to believe that these are like veteran space soldiers,
Special forces,
and they're
kinda,
like 19 years old.
yeah.
It's like, what are
well,
we?
you know what? How long was the life expectancy back then? They probably were pretty young.
You mean in the future?
Oh, in the future.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're talking about Valerian.
I thought you were talking about Valerian. I thought you were talking about this.
No.
No, this is casted perfectly.
Yeah, I think
love this
I think
casting.
Mila did a good job.
Every person in this was really good,
I mean, how do you not love Malkovich?
dude. Yeah, it was good.
But yeah, we're doing the Joan of Arc story.
Yes,
What do you guys know
Messenger, Joan
about
of
that?
The actual story.
Yeah,
is-
before you going into this.
I'll tell you, I was scarred as a child from the Joan of Arc story.
Really? Tell
So
me
much
about
so
this.
that I actually felt like repressed, uncomfortable feelings watching this and knowing the end.
Really?
Yeah. So when I was young, the one show that's like was on my house all the time was Wishbone.
Love
Okay.
Wishbone.
Wishbone's great, but in the Joan of Arc story, they burn her alive.
Yeah.
Is it Wishbone? Do they
It's-
burn Wishbone?
No, Wishbone is a warrior next to her, and she's talking about how it's important to give up like your life for freedom and like you have to go on, and it was just really sad. And then they burn her alive, and it's like this is
And they
this is a
show that on the
show.
kid show?
I don't know if they showed it too much, but they definitely
The implication.
the implication was they're burning
Right.
this woman alive who was like a saint.
Yeah. Well,
And
she is a
after
saint.
and after that, I was like, this is horrific. It's a horrific thing. I don't like watching about it just because not because it's like I don't like the history and the story, but it's so brutal,
Right.
you know. And this was a little different from what I usually heard in a way because this, like you said, it's more secular.
They kind of make it out that she's not getting visions and is in fact a crazy bitch.
She's schizophrenic.
Yeah, that's they play it as, which is an interesting take. But until the second half of the movie, where they
Well, the first half, I feel like
The first half, they kind of go with it.
yeah,
and
they
then
go
the
with the
second half,
classic-
they kind of go with the modern take on it.
yes,
But
but
at least make it vague
well,
enough.
Well, you could
We'll
kind
get
of
into
pick
it.
depending on how you
we'll
are.
get into it how we process it. But I think I know what they were doing, and
Mhm.
it's interesting. As far as the entire history behind it, I just knew Joan of Arc was a freedom fighter in France. That was like the extent of it. I never knew the backstory of like what happened.
You didn't know
between-
how integral she actually was.
No. I didn't. What about you?
My first, because you hear the story and you kind of vaguely know about it. The first time I really strongly became aware of her is watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah.
She is in that. She's
That's
one of the
right.
historical
Yes.
figures.
She does a workout.
She gets into
Yeah.
aerobics.
Yeah.
She's played by Jane Weidland or Weedland of the Go-Go's. So, that's how I think of Joan of Arc.
I completely, that didn't even cross my mind this whole time.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
that's my Joan of Arc, okay?
Yeah. All right.
What's your
Fuck Mila Jovovich. But
your
I know the broad strokes of the story, not like she went to this place and did this and this,
I wasn't overly familiar with the story, believe it or not, but I did know, she's the Maid of Orleans. I knew she liberated Orleans.
Mhm.
That's and then after
Orleans, we're American, damn it.
that, but I knew, then she got captured and burned alive. I didn't realize until I looked into it just how important she was in the aftermath of that, and the movie skips over.
Mhm.
As far as delivering Charles the Dauphin to his eventual ascension to the throne,
To
of
his
France.
coronation,
She single-handedly made it happen, essentially. And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she saved France, right? Like,
Absolutely, yes.
so why does God hate the English?
Why do the English hate God?
Well, they're still Catholic at this point, right?
Yes.
So why was he?
France is thought of as the eldest daughter of the church, right?
Okay.
You need that. France is the key to the Catholic Church. Like there is no Catholic Church without France, at least in the early days. Charlemagne, all that, yeah.
BT.
Clovis, who gets a BT.
BT.
BT. What is that?
Charlemagne.
The god?
The god, yeah.
And of course, the English are the first ones to deny the church, right?
That's later, though.
Yeah, but he knew it was coming.
God knows. These bastards are going to break bed. I'm sending Joan after them.
Yeah. I guess from a Catholic perspective, there was a plan, and the plan had to be carried out. And if you follow what the church says, once the job was done, once they got Charles on the throne, that's it. She was off the tap, essentially. They stopped talking to her. So
like in this.
Yeah.
She served her purpose.
She did her job, and it was like, all right, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
Good job.
Never trust royalty.
Well,
we're American, so
Exactly. It's ingrained in our blood.
I don't have a problem with royalty. I think they're pretty cool.
No, they're not. Horrible people. So, do we want to just jump in? Because I have a question about the intro.
yeah, let's talk the intro.
Intro was very fast. But
This is like the sequel to The King, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Now, you could have a good double feature if you watch like The King and then this.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
So, do you know what the dolphin means?
Dolphin.
Well, they're a mammal. That is a aquatic mammal that they speak with like echolocation and
Yeah, Echo the
they
dolphin.
do fun tricks.
It seriously does mean dolphin, though.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why that's symbolically what they call
But-
the air.
Yeah, it's the heir to the throne, which
Yeah,
I didn't know. I was like, why do they keep I had to look it up. I was like, they keep calling everyone dolphin.
Well, he says I'm not king yet, but they call him dolphin. I assume that was like air.
I didn't know that was the heir.
Oh,
So the dolphin
There you
is
go.
always the heir.
Yeah.
so 1420 we start right, and it says the Treaty of Troyes or Troyes.
Troye.
Troyes.
Yeah.
what is that exactly for those of us who are not as well versed?
Well, if you're a fan of the show, you should be, because we talked about it already.
we get new fans every day. Why do you guys not understand?
We're gaining 10 female fans a day. They're losing
All right, okay,
5.
Hold for obscure references. That's
not even a reference.
That might have peaked.
That's just an inside joke.
It's just that's yeah.
Yeah. So Henry V.
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet.
Yeah.
He has won at Agincourt. He has conquered France, essentially. They've promised the throne to him upon the death of Charles VI.
He will be the king of France.
He will be the king of England and France. But he had the misfortune of dying before Charles VI. So when Charles VI does die,
the deal's null.
well, the throne, from the English perspective, will pass to the 10-month-old son of Henry V. The French have no reason to honor this because they're like, we're not going to be ruled by a 10-month-old. So in the South,
We have to change diapers a lot. I feel like I'm ruled by not 10-month-old, 5-month-old.
yeah, even worse, even less capable.
Yes. There's no communication.
Yes. But the French go to the next in line in their royal lineage, who is, of course, will become Charles VI, the Dauphin.
Mm-hmm.
The Burgundians are
Love Ron Burgundy.
But that's what the treaty itself says. That it spells that out.
well, it spells out that it should pass to the
Right,
English
this
king.
is who you're getting passed to. Yeah.
Right, and the
Okay.
French are like, no, we're not doing that.
We're not following the treaty, which means war.
Yeah, well, the 100 Years' War is really a series of wars. It's not just one ongoing conflict.
Mhm.
It's actually a 116-year period with several wars in it. This is the start of the next one. The Burgundians are another French royal faction that they'd like to sit on the throne, so they're not going to support Charles either. So they side with the English, and that kind of sets up the players here.
Right, because you'll have some French people located in France siding with the English, which gives English a foothold
The English-
into the actual location.
The Burgundians kind of take the stance where,
They're on the west, I'm assuming.
like, you
Yeah, they're like
the
in
coast.
they're in eastern France mainly. The English are in the north, and then the south and southwest are like the true French territory.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the Burgundians, you destroyed what they love. Now they're going to destroy the only thing that you love.
Now this is happening.
But then, yeah,
I don't even know why you're making that reference.
Yeah.
Burgundy.
Oh, Burgundy. Okay.
Yeah. They
Okay.
love Ron
But
Burgundy.
you're referencing Jack Black's character. that's like a lot of
That
pathways.
is the funniest moment in that whole movie.
Wait, kicks
It
the
is
dog.
He
good.
kicks the
It is
dog
very
off the
funny.
thing. Yeah.
Anyway,
Charles de Valois. Oh, yeah. So he needs to get to Rheims Cathedral if he wants to be king, because, of course, this is the Middle Ages and everything. We're talking about divine right monarchy,
Yes.
and all of that kind of leans on what makes someone the legitimate ruler. What gives you legitimacy? And for the French, it is
Gotta sit on
chosen
the
by
throne.
God in Rheims Cathedral. That's where the coronation must take place. And therefore you are king once you get there. Problem with that is the English control the city of Rheims. So they can't get him there.
Right.
Leanne, right?
Leanne.
Leanne Rhymes.
Leanne Rhymes.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
City
Very
of
good,
Leanne
very good.
Rhymes.
So he
Yeah.
needs a path to get there,
Right.
and there's just armies in the way.
He's in a place, I think it's called Chotin. Did anybody write this down? What city he's kind of held up in?
Wow.
I don't know, but it's close to Orleans because that's what they're trying
Chinon.
to get to.
Chinon, yes. He's in the south. Orleans is on the front line, essentially, of this whole conflict.
Yes.
It's besieged. It's in French hands, and the English are besieging it.
Mhm.
But we didn't get there yet because the movie starts when she's a little kid.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's obsessed with going to church. She's obsessed with confessing. She's a very devout little girl who has a good life and a good
Mhm.
family.
She's
And,
very happy. She's a happy little girl.
She slightly mentions that, hey, this dude's talking to me, and I don't know his name, and
Right.
and the monk was kind of, or the priest was like, that sounds like God might be talking to this girl.
So as far as the movie's concerned, they make it that it's like Jesus Christ.
It's
talking.
God
Yes.
talking
Yeah.
to her. Yeah.
In the real story, it's the saints. There's several saints.
Yes, it's two saints that died as children, I
It's,
believe. Not Margaret.
Margaret is one of them.
Yes. I forget the other one.
Saint Catherine, Margaret of Antioch specifically.
Yes.
Saint Catherine and Saint Michael, who was of course the archangel, the
Mhm.
warrior.
Mhm.
She's born in 1412 in Domremy, France, which is in northern France, which is in the English occupied territory. Her mother is a devout Christian and apparently very well traveled, because it's believed that she had at some point in her life made a pilgrimage to Rome. And keep in mind, this is a time
That's
when
got to be hard to do.
this is a time when
Yeah.
most people don't leave their hometown ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that she had gone to Rome means they were probably a little well off for a peasant family anyway. They're not part of the
Peasant
nobility.
doesn't necessarily mean poor either. It just means
It
working.
just means you're not in the nobility.
It means working
Yeah.
class. That's it.
Right. And is extremely devout. Her mother, I'm talking about.
Mhm.
She must have passed this on to her
Oh,
daughter. And her daughter apparently, is all about going to confession all the time, being in the church constantly.
Yep.
And so what happens in the movie in the beginning? Remind me.
She's dancing through a field.
Yeah,
she's
it's
skipping
just-
through rivers.
happy kid stuff.
Just
Well, she
being
falls
really
down
happy.
and lays like Jesus style in the
This-
grass.
Basically,
It's a clear like reference.
Yeah, it's the equivalent if the Jets won the Super Bowl. What Brian would do.
Yes.
She's like telling everyone life is wonderful. Basically.
Well, a sword appears next to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, God makes a sword appear. At least that's what we see.
I like all this imagery stuff. It's cool.
It's very
And there's
religious.
a vision with a wolf and like all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now, her sword in real life, the real Joan of Arc, was actually gifted the sword
Yeah.
later on. It wasn't like a lady in the lake situation.
No.
Right.
Like the movie kind of plays
The
at.
movie kind of, but did she hold on to that? Like she doesn't keep it the whole time, does she?
Yeah, that's her sword
It's a
that she
sword.
has.
Is it?
Yeah.
it's a
I
sword.
guess so.
Yeah, like it's hyping up the legend, right?
Yeah.
This movie is very much like this is the legend, and then they kind of like hit the brakes on it.
Towards the end, they
Yeah.
It's not even that they hit the brakes. It's like they just kind of deconstruct
Yes.
any kind of religiosity that you may have taken from it.
Yes,
They bring in Dustin Hoffman to be like, wait a sec,
But
we're
we'll
in
talk-
postmodern land
but we'll
now.
talk about that after. I
Yeah.
have a different theory.
So anyway, so these English guys come and sack her town,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they kill her sister, who is a nun, and rape the
And
dead body.
rape her dead
Yeah,
body.
so
yeah.
the English are once again just like in past movies like Braveheart, raping,
Monsters.
murdering necrophiliacs who are all utter evil.
Now, in real life, her town was sacked. It wasn't the English.
No, it was the Burgundians.
Yeah, the Burgundians sacked her town, and there's no evidence that
They were
There
doing
is
necrophilia.
strong evidence that the reason her town was sacked was specifically because of her.
really.
Yes. So when
Wow.
she is 13, she starts getting these visions, right, of the saints talking to her.
Yeah.
And she's not quiet about it. She
Telling the
starts
world.
telling people. And word's getting around that this girl is talking to
Saints, gods,
God.
which means you probably give gifts.
And she. Oh wait a minute! I'm actually mixing up my story.
Oh no!
This happened. Her town got raided when she was older. Believe it or not.
Okay.
So she first starts getting the visions and talking to us when she's a kid, just like in the movie. But it's not until later, when she's like 19, that she goes to.
So Joan and her family actually fled the village before it was attacked. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
weren't there.
Yeah, but hold on. So she goes to the local Charles supporter in the area.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, she wants him to take her south. And he says no, because he doesn't believe her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but she's going around saying, I've been chosen by God to lead France to victory. I'm going to put him on the throne. And there's word gets around, the Burgundians hear about this, and that's why they raid the town, specifically to try and kill her.
Okay.
Because people are talking.
Like, we can't have this going on.
Right. Now, it wasn't uncommon at the time to have, like, especially in France, for whatever reason, women in France were constantly saying they were talking to God.
Oh, really?
She wasn't unique in that. But people seemed to take her a bit more seriously because of what she could do. The real first display of any kind of divinity is when she gets to
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Right. So after the town gets raided, and they burn it.
They bury the dead, and you know.
She blamed herself
For
for her
some
sister's
reason,
death.
the guy who had denied her is like, okay, I'm going to give you 6 nights, and you travel with them south.
Yep.
They're going to bring you. It's over 500 miles through enemy occupied territory. This is an impossible journey.
Yeah, you have to go through enemy lines.
Right.
Like you try to go through this shit, you're gonna get like eaten by crocodiles. It's like that level of shit.
If crocodiles are men on horseback who rape,
Rape dead bodies specifically. Just nonsense.
Yeah, she could not have possibly made this journey alone. You know, that's why she needed bodyguards.
Right.
But they bring her to Charles, but the movie's a little more, you know, they skip all that, but they do a good build up of just her childhood, and what leads her to like.
Well, you see her; she's all about like
breaking and entering, so we church and praying.
Yeah, she wants to see a priest. She has like survivor's guilt.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they make a big thing about her like doing the sacrament by herself. She gives it to herself.
She wanted to do the sacrament so much that she couldn't wait. She had to do it that moment.
Right.
It's an obsession almost.
Yeah. I think also she wasn't old enough. Because, you know, you don't have your first communion generally until you're 12 or 13.
Yeah.
I don't know how old she is in the movie.
But they show her drinking the blood of Christ.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's not wine. It's clear that it's blood in like this movie.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So Joan of Arc was communicated by God, right?
Oh my
Do you know
God.
what he could have used to message her? Riverside.
How would she like see it? I mean, it's the 1400s.
Internet, but you know what?
It's God. He could just make the internet happen.
Make an internet and a computer.
Or maybe in the river itself.
Doesn't that seem a bit redundant? Like he could just talk to her.
Yeah, but I think with the beautiful 4K, she could have captured it and then shown everyone Dustin Hoffman.
You know how scared she would be of Riverside?
Imagine, I was thinking about this during the movie. Like, imagine if I just showed up in like the 1400s with like my phone and a machine gun. It's like I could take over the country.
Of course you could. Yeah,
Not really. You got a machine gun, bro.
Yes, but
You're gonna get killed.
he
at
only
some
needs
point.
to kill like 2 people, and then they'd be like, okay.
And with the thing,
You don't have infinite bullets.
Look what Cortez did with a fucking musket and a horse.
And we would be looking.
This is a Riverside commercial.
We'd be looking at stained glass. We'd be looking at stained glass of him today.
That's right.
yeah, so Riverside, you can use to telecommunicate, podcast, video conference, record it all in beautiful 4K, easy to use, great service, highly recommend it. God himself would have used it to
God himself could not sink the ship.
God himself would have used it to talk to Joan of Arc if she wouldn't have been scared. He knew that she wasn't ready for it.
Yeah,
but her
You can be glib about some things, Rose, but not Titanic.
her triple look,
Can we revisit that movie?
Joan of Arc was going to be scared of it, but her quadruple grandkids are going to love it.
Did her bloodline continue?
No, she was burned alive at 19
Oh, I
and
don't know if
chased.
she had a kid.
She was a virgin. We don't know that. Yes, we do. They tested.
did, I
Yeah, so riverside.com, check it out.
And then you kind of like fast forward.
We
really
fast
quick.
forward. Now she turns into Mila Jovovich.
Yes.
Mila Jovovich.
You no trouble. Me profit from God. Multi-pass. He should have had...
Very hot, right?
To start, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, once she gets the boy haircut, she kind of loses
Oh,
it.
no, I don't even mean that. I just mean Mila Jovovich in general.
In general,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This movie needed Ruby Rod with her.
Now we're talking about a 10 out of 10.
Like the whole, everything is the same.
But it's Ruby Rod.
It's Ruby Rod with her.
Dressed as Ruby Rod, right?
What if every
Dolphin,
time,
my man.
every time she gets a vision from God, it's Ruby Rod? He's the voice of Christ.
With the stupid hair.
Yeah, in the leopard print fucking outfit. Super green.
I don't got enough men.
If I knew.
So the king or the dolphin is gonna meet X. Because it
This
signs her
scene-
name X. She can't read and write, but she could sign her name as X. This is a very weird thing going on in this.
This scene is so Luc Besson.
Yeah. So the feeling in this movie, if you didn't watch it yet, it's very bizarre because it's comedical. Like there's a lot of
There's a weird
comedy,
It's
but
French.
not really.
It's
like,
French.
It's I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of like French movies, but like there's so many little moments that are like clear French film style shit
Yeah.
where it's like this. It's a different sense of humor than like, you know, the English sense of humor or our sense of humor.
It is
It's like this-
Here is a clown who's going to behead himself.
It's like weird, quirky shit
Yeah.
almost. You know, it's like
Yes.
I can't even
There's an
describe.
accordion playing.
I can't describe it articulately, but like when it happens in a
You just
movie,
know
I'm like,
it, you know.
that's the French vibe. Like, and it's in this movie a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
There's no
That's
Canada
interesting.
like French Canada.
So they find out this girl, the maiden of Lorraine, is coming by, and they're scared it's an assassin. They don't know her, so we're gonna put in a stand-in. And the king is walking around,
Malkovich.
Malkovich.
and he's
By the way-
pointing
wait,
and
wait,
he's
wait. Hold
like
on.
lightly heartedly insulting people that they
Yes.
can't be king. And then he finds like the one young guy. He's like, "Yeah, you're handsome enough. Get on the throne."
There's three guys that all look really like swarthy. And
They are caricatures of like past art, it seems. Like there's a big brawly guy with
Yeah.
a deep hefty laugh, and then there's a sly good looking guy who's kind of might be
Vince
evil.
Cassell.
Yeah, then there's a really rich
The other
good-looking
French
guy.
actor that
Yeah,
every
it's-
American knows. One of the two, him and Jean Reno.
Well, hold on.
Weird.
There's a certain man from the Patriot who's going to pop up later.
Well, hold on,
not in this scene.
I want to talk about something though.
Yeah.
No French accents other than
No.
Vince Cassell.
No.
Mhm.
They don't try. Everyone is English.
Everybody's English, yes.
Yeah, they
Or
all have
American.
they all have American
American
accents.
accents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I,
Especially
you know what, I'm
Dustin
okay with
Hoffman.
that.
Dustin Hoffman does not hide that he's a
Not
New
at
York
all.
Jew
No.
whatsoever.
Nope.
Well, Jesus was a Jew, you know.
Yeah, by way of Queens.
By way of Queen.
Yeah.
It's like the BQE.
Yeah.
The only way it could have got a better Jewish actor was if they had Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That would have been amazing.
Look, Joan, I don't know.
Nobody told you to do this.
Did you do it for me, or did you do it for you?
You don't think he'd handle his own thing? You don't think that?
Also,
Come on.
can we talk about the king's mother-in-law?
Very strange. Very Monty
Faye
Python.
Dunaway.
That's Faye Dunaway?
Yep.
Really?
I didn't even fucking know
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
I watched that whole movie.
Monty Python / possibly Star Trek villain.
Yeah, she's
Like,
got a very bored
bizarre.
queen.
Also reminds me of the opera singer in The Fifth Element.
Yeah,
that bald
some of
head
that. Yeah,
where
some
it's
of the
like
look.
the Zorg look, where it's like your whole half shaved.
Jean Baptiste.
You could
Manuel.
see the little like fragments in his work come into this, and
Yes.
that is one of
You
them.
must have been loving it.
Oh, I gave this a high mark.
Yeah. So they have this scene, and this is
This is
as
real?
far as I know, this is exactly how shit
This
went
is
down.
this is what everyone says.
insane.
Yes. She walked in, immediately knew what was going down, and picked him out of a lineup. She could not have possibly known what he looked like.
Yeah.
Unless just seen in a vision.
Yeah.
Which is what they hint. Like, I
And
saw you in a
then-
vision. I know
And
you
then
are.
the two of them went in a back room and had a private meeting.
That no one knows.
No one knows what was said.
In
at.
this movie, we see it.
Yeah.
In this movie, we see the conversation where
Mhm.
she's like,
I was
I'm
chosen.
chosen by God to put you on the throne, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
In reality, nobody knows what was said. It's never been recorded or documented.
Yes. But when they were done with that meeting, he had full confidence in her and gave her an army to
She did
lead into
sloppy
battle.
toppy.
Sloppy toppy?
Yeah, I think she went down on him and then
You're
got an
impugning
army.
Joan of Arc, the maid, you fucking blasphemer.
Don't you dare call me that.
Yeah, it's of all the saints, I think I may have seen more images of her in stained glass than anyone else.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. She's in like every church.
Yeah.
Is that a modern thing? Because she was canonized.
She's only canonized in 1920.
1931, I thought.
I wrote it down.
It was 500 years later. So, yeah.
I got 1920.
Yeah, 1920.
Okay, maybe you're right.
1920.
But do you think that's also like kind of, it really fits with the modern West's obsession with like kind of female empowerment, where they picked Joan of Arc to really
I'm
like
talking about
put out
churches
there?
that were built in the 1800s.
But why would they
Yeah.
put her? She wasn't a saint.
Yeah, well, they've updated the stained glass. I guess you're right. No, I mean, it's not like no one knew who she was. You know, she wasn't an obscure figure that they plucked and then it's like, all right, she's a saint now. This is a famous person from the moment she made it on the scene.
Did you ever see the silent film?
No.
I wanted to watch it before this. I didn't get the chance.
She's the national hero of France.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I didn't know that
It's
was
Joan
a
of
real
Arc,
thing.
man.
I didn't know there was a real thing.
No, that's real.
Wow. Well, she tells him, like, you know, I was chosen by God. And you see images of her running through the woods. So I was like, you know, stop doing mushrooms in the woods. You won't speak to God. You know, it's fine. But there's like wolves running by, and it's very surreal, like these moments, which when you're thinking
they do a good
trend. I got very confused. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like,
they do a cool transition where like the wolves are almost in a vision of hers.
Yes.
And then they become war dogs.
Yes.
You know, they start eating people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's
that's
well
a
done.
reoccurring theme where you like she's getting these visions and
it
some of
transitions
them
from
are
the
coming
visions
true.
to reality.
Yeah, they're coming true.
Yeah.
And she needs a priest, a horse, armor, artist, and scribe. ASAP.
Yes.
Which I was like, oh.
And she makes her own banner.
She makes
The
her own
famous
banner.
Yes.
Yeah. What did it say something?
Probably something in French.
Sure
right?
it did. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Let's take a look.
The banner of Jean
The
d'Arc.
long white banner that,
Yes.
you know.
Joan of Arc
Pretty interesting.
banner.
Yeah, well, I kind of want to know.
But she's very, like the way they have
It
her.
says Jesus Maria, I guess.
Mother of God?
Yeah. Or it's just Jesus and Mary, you know?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
They do an artistic choice here with her to make her kind of manic and crazy instead of being kind of
Noble.
calculating and confident.
Well, you know what it is? It kind of...
She's just
She's
like
a young
she's
woman.
being yelled. They make it as if she's being yelled at by God, and she's just like, "Fuck,
I gotta get this
Yeah.
done.
Well, that's like, it's also like, I understand where she's coming from. She has this vision and this impetus,
Well, God
and
speaks
she has
you.
to do this thing
on Earth with people that are
with
going
people that don't believe her.
Yes,
And it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like just let me work.
let me do this. Like,
Yeah.
if you listen to me, we're going to be fine.
Right.
And nobody believes her,
Mhm.
which makes it an impossible task.
Plus, and put on that the supernatural is literally screaming at you.
Yes.
You know? So
It's a high pressure situation.
I would think so.
Yeah, definitely.
And they put her through all kinds of tests.
And try. They check if she's a virgin in front of like 100 people.
That's real. That
This has
happened.
been documented.
Really?
This happened.
Because we do that to be a host on the show. That's how we get on.
Are you circumcised?
We drop your pants. We go, all right, come on in.
There's no foreskin in this show.
Yeah. It's one of my stipulations for all the guests, too. We
Yes.
do a full inspection.
Full inspection, yeah. If you're not pure and untainted, you can't come onto the seat.
Yeah.
You must have been born in the tri-state area.
That was
of
real,
America.
huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So actually, I like that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like.
this
connections
movie's very
here.
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
As far as I could tell, anyway.
It gets a lot of criticism for some stuff.
Mhm.
But
Sure.
yeah, you know.
Sure. So that she basically convinces them to give her an army,
Yeah.
fully stocked. You know.
Yep.
Do we have numbers of like what she was dealing with?
How big her army was?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah. Because I'm curious. Because in what I actually like about this movie with the battle sequences,
Mhm.
they're not massive. They're like small.
They're sufficient.
Small kind of battles.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
yeah. I mean, we're not dealing
Little
with.
skirmishes, mainly, kind of.
There's no CGI really.
No.
It's like,
No.
well, I'm sure there's some.
She had a 4,000-man army, 6,000 soldiers at Orleans.
There you go.
Wow.
Which is quite
That's
substantial.
insane
Yeah. For
for,
the
that time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Orleans
Yeah. Tell me
is
about
under
that.
siege. The French are holding out by the skin of their teeth. It is under the command of a guy known as the Bastard of Orleans,
That's the guy that we see
who was in the Patriot.
who was in the Patriot. He's the king's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does Monty Python style insults.
Yes.
All right. The comedy here is very strange. Like hilarity is ensuing in this battle. The French people are fighting and they're having a wonderful time, like cutting off limbs. It's very weird,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's not just me.
By all accounts, he was desperate to surrender the city.
Really?
He's had enough.
It's too much bloodshed.
And when Joan shows up with this new army,
6,000.
she immediately galvanizes his soldiers and the population to just fight their hearts out.
Well, no one wants to lose to the girl.
Right. He's getting
You know?
the job taken away.
Yeah.
The English have set up a bunch of forts. And, you know, it's a siege. So, these giant fortifications where they're just kind of trying to starve the city out. They throw, catapults and things.
Yeah.
Trebuchets.
Yes. I'm not sure if there was any
The guy with the
cannons there.
Yeah.
Cannons.
Yeah. But it would not have been
Impossible.
The cannons were already coming onto the stage military. They're rare. They're expensive, but people have them. At this particular battle, I'm not sure if they were there or not. You can look that up.
Because they make a big stink about this guy having a trebuchet and loving it. And just
that was like a weird
obsessing
thing.
over it. Like he's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful. Show me your power." I'm like, "What is happening? Who is this dude?" Because he needs to be a main character. Like,
I didn't know this, but one of those three guys that are like her entourage, would go on, the real guy, to become like a fucking Satanist.
Okay, I wanted to talk about him.
Yeah.
Yes.
1400s.
Yup,
Yeah.
he becomes an open Satanist. Let me pull up the guy's
That
name.
existed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like was eating
Gilles-
children and they
Gilles-
arrested him and murdered him.
He's credited as being like the first serial killer.
Yeah.
What?
Some spooky remnants coming
Yeah.
over. Gilles de Rais,
Yeah.
the guy played by Vince Cassel, is fucking evil. Becomes a full blown Satanist.
Mhm.
Wow.
Like is on trial
After
for all
riding
these
along Joan of
crimes.
Arc.
Yup.
Oh.
Yeah, becomes like worships the devil.
Mhm.
Complete unsavory character, like the first like serial killer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is he the first like Satanist?
He's the
He
first
might
like
be the first on
big
record.
one.
Yeah.
He's the first one, fucking drinking kid
Doing
blood
crazy
to stay young and
Yeah,
shit
he
like that.
tried to he tried to do
He tried
like
to make
alchemy.
Hollywood and just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Just didn't
Yeah.
get far enough.
He he tried to like do alchemy and summon demons and all this shit.
Is that the one with the trebuchet?
No.
No, he's Vince
No.
Cassel. He was one of the guys that was in the
Yeah.
thing, the other French actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
He tried to summon a demon named Baron.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah.
what?
I believe he said darkness, drown out light.
Drown out the light,
Appear,
yeah.
fiend of fact within my sight.
Oh, wow. Gotta chill up my spine. Yeah, well, spooky season's still here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that's also because he like the horrors he witnessed under these battles and like the strenuous acts of that, where he just like went completely the opposite direction and just became
I imagine that
evil.
being in medieval warfare could be pretty stressful.
a lot of PTSD.
Yeah.
And if you have PTSD or you're in stressful times, you could use help from our sponsor,
Oh, who's our sponsor?
BetterHelp.
What do they do?
BetterHelp.com is an online therapy service that will allow you to talk to an online licensed therapist today.
Are you missing your shots with your trebuchet? Go to BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
Yeah, they'll guide you.
Talk to an online licensed therapist. You don't even have to leave your home. It's the best way to do it. You get a discount when you use our promo code in the comments. Use it. Get mentally healthy. Get stable.
Are you the type of person that can't stop thinking about ancient Rome? You need to get that out of your brain to help you in your regular day?
Why?
They'll help you.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
There's nothing. Maybe you want to think about it more. They can also help you with that too.
Maybe you're getting visions.
If
You're not
getting
sure
visions,
if they're
yeah.
real. Guess what? You can pick the denomination of your therapist. If you want to talk to a Catholic, you can talk to a Catholic.
Just stay away from Dustin Hoffman.
Is Dustin Hoffman appearing in your living room? Better help.
Trying to break up your wedding.
Pounding on the glass.
So this is the bulk of the movie, right? Is here in Orleans.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
As it should be. This is like her crowning.
This is the big
achievement.
thing.
Yeah. So she, the real Joan of Arc, anyway, she never killed anyone, as far as we know.
Yep.
That's what she says
She
in the
would
movie.
ride around,
She's almost like a
And
mascot.
inspire the men
Sure.
to fight insanely hard, and they were pretty much invincible whenever she was on the field.
She inspired everybody, and
Now, what
they
do
fought.
you guys think? Do you think she
Well-
killed someone? Because it is a battle. You're in the heat of it.
I'm gonna go with the official story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she did get the 2 wounds she receives in the movie. She did get in real life.
Yes.
So she got shot in the tit with an arrow and shot in the
In the
leg.
leg.
She was
That's
shot
sick.
with an insane like that arrow shot that happens
This one
as
in Orleans.
she's climbing a ladder in the film.
Yeah.
She's climbing a ladder trying to scale a wall of a fort.
Mhm.
And an English archer just puts an arrow almost at point blank range into her chest.
Yep.
This happened.
Wow.
She was brought back. Everyone thought she was dead.
Just
By the end of the
ripped it out.
day, she had pulled the arrow out, suffered the wound, and then was back on the battlefield that night.
Yep.
She
What a badass.
this would have
Killed
ruined
killed anyone.
anyone.
Yeah.
And somehow she was divinely
Protected.
protected.
Not enough to not get hit by an arrow.
She
though.
just
Yeah.
she got hit and took a nap. Woke up and was like, I need more bloodshed.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let's rock.
Just like in the movie.
Yes.
Wow.
This is a 19-year-old girl, by the way. Think about the people that put the army in her hands. You know, like that's insane.
That's insane faith.
These are not, these
Think
are
about
not
a
like
19-year-old
uneducated
girl.
people.
No.
Wait,
They are
but-
the smartest people in the country.
Think about a 19-year-old girl you knew in like Applebee's, like running the country.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like imagine the girl who didn't know like what the Nazis were.
Remember that?
Yeah. Imagine her running the fucking country. Oh my God. Such a fucking herb.
These English are grody.
They're sick herbs. Get out of here. What are
Like,
you
don't even
doing?
be here.
You don't even have any friends.
No one even likes
Nobody
you.
likes you.
So, but yeah, there's some great action scenes. We get to see some cool fighting. There's a man with spike armor.
Yes.
A lot of beheadings.
Yeah,
Yep.
a lot of gore.
How
More
awesome
gore
is
than
the
I thought.
scene where they put the balls?
Oh, that was great.
So cool.
Why?
So cool. Just launching out and people
Yeah, they're
flying
dropping
back.
balls.
Yeah.
Getting decapitated. It's so
it's
gory
sick.
and awesome.
It's sick. They did a good job for what they had, and it's not over the top where it's like, oh wow, I can't see what's going on. It's just these little clips of like violence. You know?
Yeah.
By this point in the movie, I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yes.
Why isn't this more popular?
Well, you texted us as the
Yeah.
movies happened. You're like, this movie's
That's
awesome.
when I texted you.
Is
Yeah.
that part?
Yeah, like, wow, this is sick.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't like this? Why isn't this a big hit? And I don't understand why it's not.
I think I can get into it later, but we'll keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we see the
Did
ramp.
we mention her cut her hair yet?
Yeah, she cuts her hair to look like a
it's
guy.
not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's such a.
She
minute
pulls the
thing.
old Mulan.
Right.
But that's also comical because they're like, let's get scissors. It's okay. God could tell you to do things, but just tell us first. We'll help you out. We'll give you a nice haircut.
She's like, nah, I got to use my sword.
She's just losing her
You
shit.
know, in reality, she first dressed like a boy when they put her through enemy lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
As like a disguise.
Yeah, it wasn't like she got there as a girl, you know?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah. They make a scene in the movie where
Yeah.
she cuts her hair,
Mhm.
and it's really that's I don't know.
that was supposed to be Mila Jovovich's like Oscar scene.
You think so?
Yeah, like, look, I'm cutting my hair myself, you know? Like,
Yeah.
With the sword.
I gave myself a shitty haircut. I look like Mo from the Three Stooges. Give me my statue.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
It worked for Anne Hathaway.
It did, but it didn't work for Natalie Portman.
What's
in
the
V
what
for
does she
Vendetta.
do? Live the life I'm living.
Yeah. In this hell I'm living.
Why does it always come back to that movie?
What have I done?
Sweet Jesus,
what have I done?
Become a thief in the night.
Become a dog on the night, become a thief on the run.
My
I could do it this way. Same exact
I gotta read his memoir, right? I gotta read it. It's
Right.
coming
Oh,
out, right?
fucking-
Hugh Jackman.
Fruitcake Jackman.
Yeah.
He just show up and just beat your ass.
Oh, he's so good.
Oh, like I'm the only one making the joke? You've been making it too. Hugh Jackman's coming to kick
said
both our
I
asses.
said it on a paywall. He
He's gonna
doesn't
point-
know.
He's gonna nod both of y'all, just point at me. You, I like you, and then he's gonna rate me.
And we're gonna be like, see?
So Jean uses this like the ramp on the opposite way,
She takes a siege tower, has it
and
backwards,
pushes
Yes.
it,
throws it
forward.
into a ditch, and then it crashes open the gates of a fort.
and it creates a bridge for
Yeah.
them to cross, which is brilliant. I don't know if that happened.
I don't
Probably
think
not.
no, that
You
didn't
know,
happen.
but it's interesting.
It's cool in the
It's
movie,
movie
though.
stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
it was cool.
what is she doing? She's so stupid. She doesn't know how to use
Right.
the tower.
Right.
And she's just like, no, God told me. They're like, all right. God told her, and it works.
I like that they gave like some characterization to like the English underling guy.
Yeah, he gets shot, right?
Yeah, it reminded me of
he saves her life.
No, I'm talking about the English guy, the bad guy. He's like he's like a character.
Yeah, kind of.
Like he's not just a nameless, faceless guy. He's like doing things and like trying to fight. But it reminded me of similar role in The Fifth Element is the guy in the airport. I am Corbin Dallas. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, like similar. It's the style, and I love it. It really works. Yeah. And now her hallucinations are getting crazy because she finally saw like real battle and blood and fire and
she's like
she's
seeing
losing
all
her
sorts
mind.
of shit.
Yeah.
I do like the scene where she goes to the Englishman and she like asks him to step down. He just goes, "Go fuck yourself," basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what it.
And I like she has a beat.
She always gives them the choice to leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like the scene she has, or the relationship she has with that big soldier, the big guy.
Yeah.
And
he got the spike armor.
Yeah, he keeps saying like "God damn it" and like blaspheming.
Telling him to
and
stop cursing.
she hits him in the face.
But he likes it.
Yeah.
She's like, "Stop blaspheming." And at one point in the movie, he's like, "God, if you spare Joan."
Yeah.
She gets hit with the arrow, and he says, "If you let her live, I'll never swear again."
Yeah.
And she wakes up and is just like, "Stop swearing."
Yeah.
Which is like, that is kind of a hint, like, God saved her.
But that's some of that more like just weird like French humor thing. You know?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Subtle humor is good. The English retreat after she asks them.
She lifts the siege.
Did that happen? Did she actually?
At that fight?
And like, so they take the fort, but then she goes out to a field and meets the English army and says like, just retreat. And they do. Do you know if that's
I don't know if that specific event happened, but here's like, as we understand it, she led the French army into a stunning victory where they lifted the siege and the English army was forced to retreat back north. The road to Rheims, because Rheims is the ultimate objective, right? We got to put the Dauphin on the throne. She takes her army, and this is not they don't show this in the movie, but she one town after another just liberates the entire Loire Valley. Just one, like,
it's a big campaign.
It's a big campaign that culminates in the Battle of Patay, where the French army just annihilates the English, crushes them. And Rheims is taken by the French, and Charles rushes there to be crowned king. And then,
which is the next scene here,
God shuts off the visions. And that's
it for Joan.
She has done her job, but it's not it for Joan. Obviously, she wants to keep fighting.
Yeah.
Well, there's the scene I don't know if we spoke about where it's after the siege. She shows up, and the whole English army is there.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah,
mentioned. Yeah.
They
run away.
I like that she rides her horse there, and she goes alone, and she gives a speech, which is, "Go home. If you do not go now, just know you will be buried in this field.
Says
you'll be buried in your blood, not ours."
It's very
not underwhelming.
It's very girly.
Speech, yeah.
So that speech is in a Necro song. He samples it in the beginning of the song.
Necro, the death rap guy?
Yeah. So I knew that speech.
No way.
Does he still
verbatim.
exist?
Yeah, he still raps. But in the song Violins of Violence, great Necro track.
So you didn't know what it was from, right?
I found out it was from a Joan of Arc movie because I've listened to the song for years. I was like, what is this from? And I knew it was from this movie, but I never had watched it. And when it comes up, I'm like, I was waiting the whole movie for it. I was like, here it is.
She doesn't do a whole lot of talking in the movie.
Yeah, she does.
You think so?
Yeah.
Second half is more talking, but the first half is a lot of traveling and like, I'm the chosen one. It's a lot of repetitive stuff, you know.
But yeah, so he comes and they have this scene where his coronation, right? And they have this whole thing with the oil of Clovis.
A lot of golden outfits,
right?
Man.
Now,
15th century outfits were fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you think this oil of Clovis scene?
This is the first hint that we're we're gonna secularize this movie.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So, according to the French tradition, the oil of Clovis is like this ancient oil
Yeah.
that you need to use to anoint the
Did
next
you look this up?
French king.
I don't know if this is real.
This is what's in the movie.
Yeah, this is what's in the movie. Clovis is the first of the barbarian Christian kings. Clovis was king of the Franks, after the fall of Rome.
Mhm.
And he is the first Frankish king to convert to Christianity. I
I
don't know
see.
what the oil of Clovis is.
So it's the holy ampulla, and it was used.
No, this is a real thing.
It's a real thing. It was used to anoint French kings from Louis VII in 1131 to Louis the 16th in 1774.
That's insane.
So they were all anointed with this oil.
400-year-old oil.
600.
Yeah.
Now the
Holy
movie would
crap.
have you believe that it's not holy and it's just refilled.
They just refill it. Yeah.
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 But at this point, it's 300-year-old oil.
yeah, in the movie.
Yeah.
And the vial is empty.
It's empty.
Mhm.
And he's
And
not
the priest
anointed
is like,
by God.
what are we going to do? And
We can't do it,
the
yeah.
king's mother-in-law is just like, don't worry about it. I got this.
And she just puts
fills
some
it.
oil in there.
Yeah.
Just anoint him.
And she
Yeah.
goes, I'm doing a miracle, and puts it back.
Right.
Which,
Now, there's different
Uh,
interpretations you could have to the scene,
Mhm.
sure.
which I think it's a pretty rich scene. Okay, so one interpretation is that, there's no miracles or whatever,
religion's fake.
right?
Yeah.
Two is that he wasn't
You
really
make your own
supposed to
luck
be
in this world.
anointed, right?
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
third way you could take it is because he was never anointed, he was never really a true king at the end of it. And that's why the crown ends up ending
Which
it
is
the way
why
it
he's
does.
able to be a scumbag later.
Mhm.
And why the crown ends up all getting beheaded and dying because they were fake kings
Oh, you mean the
on a long enough timeline.
timeline.
the revolution?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting.
Depending
Okay.
on how I feel like there's different interpretations to how you view
Mhm.
the oil being empty.
Mhm. I didn't think of that. That's interesting.
I agree with that. I think that's, and I'll once again at the end of the movie.
you think
I'll
that's
explain.
what Luc Besson is trying to say?
You'll
That
see.
the monarchy is illegitimate.
You'll see. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So he's anointed with the fake oil.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And he's now the king.
Yes.
She takes her army and is like, I gotta go take back Paris.
Yeah.
Now, Paris at the time has 30-foot walls. It is impregnable.
Yeah.
The Bastille is is being used for its original purpose. We all know the Bastille is the prison, right?
Mhm.
And we're
Yes.
marching.
The Bastille, in the French Revolution is iconic.
Yeah.
But at this time, it is a castle fortress for the defense of Paris from the English. But the only problem is the English are in control of the city.
They have it.
Yes. Joan's army, which by this point has actually dwindled.
It's withered
Yes.
down to
Uh,
a handful.
Well,
She-
they've had casualties and they didn't replenish her.
and
Well, the king didn't.
the king
replenish her.
stopped
Yeah,
giving her supplies and things.
in the movie, but also in real life.
Yes, he kind of turned. He's like, I'm the king now, and I want to do diplomacy.
yeah.
He can't say to her, okay, you're done, because she's Joan of Arc and she just gave him a throne.
And she's listening to God. And,
Right.
and in the real king in real life, the
Mhm.
movie makes him much bigger of a scumbag. He made her family like lords. He gave them
Yeah.
lands. Like they were rewarded.
Yes. But he kind of reduces her to let her go do what she wants. She can go raid towns, but she's not running the entire
The whole
army
army,
anymore.
yeah.
But she's got it in her head she's going to take Paris back. When they get there, they get stomped out and they're forced to retreat. And she
Now-
gets a crossbow to the leg.
Yes.
Yeah, she gets
She
shot
used
in
to
the
be
leg.
an adventurer like you. But then she
And I
took
took
a
an arrow in the knee.
Out of the knee. So she actually took this in real life. Huh?
Yes.
Yep.
Because that's what happens. Wow. So, real quick before we move on,
Mhm.
in the movie, she goes to the king and says, "It's like I'm going to put you on the throne. You're going to be king of France."
Yes.
That already happened.
Yes.
So, in the king's mind, if you're the king,
He got what he wanted.
you got what you wanted. You got exactly what you said you would do. Why should I support you more because now we're in charge of most. Eventually, we're going to get back Paris. Eventually, we're going to get back other things.
Well, yeah. Now the world gets in the way. It's like, how do you run a country?
Right.
You know, it's not just.
So, do you think the king?
goal.
Listen to Joan.
Do you think the king was correct in that move, where it's like, yeah, that's enough? You know.
I mean, by the church's own admission, God is done with her.
Mhm.
So it's why can't he be done with her as well?
Right.
You know,
Right.
like now it's time.
You're not getting visions anymore.
Now it's time to run France.
So you're saying
not-
Joan didn't know her place?
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just
Not for
saying
that.
now it's not just the singular vision of let's we have a job to do, let's do it. That job is now completed. Now
The
other
bigger picture,
opinions,
yeah.
other things can
The bigger
come into
picture has
play.
to happen.
You know, and
yeah.
But what
taking
is-
back Paris isn't the most important thing at this
Right.
time.
But what do
You
you
just
do
needed
with
the
Joan
throne.
when that's what Joan wants? You know?
What Jane says. That's
Well,
a
if
Jane's
you're-
addiction.
if
right?
you're
I don't know
a,
why I did-
If you're someone who has basically given the king the crown,
she's obviously going to be an important person.
she's important, but you know she could be way more useful where she, like in her home, like as a lord, as opposed to going off and dying somewhere. You know, so it's like, hey, maybe I won't give you the army, and then she goes anyway. It's like, oh, what am I?
Do you
gonna
think you could
I
have
don't
convinced
know
her to
how-
settle down with a man?
I don't.
Someone like Chachi?
No. She
She
actually
loves Chachi.
She does.
when she was before all this, when she was back in her village, her father actually tried to marry her off to a guy, and she won in court the ability not to get married because she claimed to have vowed chastity.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
she's she's not getting married.
So she was a virgin?
Yes.
Yeah. But do you think like?
So my friend once
oh.
dated a virgin.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Here it comes.
No, so he dated a virgin
Mhm.
and they didn't have sex.
Mhm.
And he spoke about with his friends and they decided to have a contest to see who could go the longest without, you know, gratifying themselves.
Mhm.
Who was master of their domain, if you will.
King of the county.
Yeah. Eventually the virgin found out about it and got really upset and left them.
Uh-huh.
And she ended up having sex with JFK Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you know? I'm out.
The queen is dead.
Is that the most famous episode of the show?
Definitely. That was like the groundbreaking moment for them.
More than Festivus?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the episode that put them on the map.
Yeah, but that back
What
then.
episode
But what
is it?
in hindsight?
The contest.
The contest.
In hindsight, what's the most famous episode?
That
Soup
one.
Nazi, right?
Soup Nazi.
Oh,
Soup
yeah.
Nazi's
It might
the
be
one.
Soup Nazi. Yeah.
I know Soup
Yeah.
Nazi.
It's Soup Nazi or contest. It's
Mhm.
one of those two.
I saw Soup Nazi before you guys would talk about Seinfeld in front of me, so that's how popular that was.
Okay. Meligatani.
What do you say? This minestrone is so good.
So now she gets captured by the Burgundians, right?
Yes.
Well, the royalty sees her as a threat, so
And as torture, they make her watch Anchorman 2 on loop. Not even the good ones.
I didn't hate it.
Anchorman 2.
It's man.
It's not as good as one.
I only saw it once.
Did you ever see the weird half movie they made?
Half movie.
Yeah. So they took
The
the outtake movie,
the best scene in Anchorman 1, everybody knows, is the big fight, right?
the dog scene,
No, the fight.
oh, the fight scene. Okay. Yeah.
With all the news. So they tried to amp that up to 15 in Anchorman 2, and
Yes.
it just falls flat,
All right. But
right?
oh yeah, it doesn't really work.
Mhm.
It's like doing the same thing twice.
Right.
But there was so much outtake footage left over from Anchorman 1 that they made a second movie that no one really talks about called I think it's called Wake Up Ron Burgundy.
What is that?
It's like the second movie, but like a completely new story and new takes. Like no one was really seen this thing. It exists. You could like watch it.
He really never let that character die. He's still
He does
had
them
a
on like a
podcast,
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Can you blame him?
Ron Burgundy will pop up places too, like on Conan O'Brien or
Mhm.
something.
Well, doesn't he like always do characters on shows?
Yeah, I guess he
Like
does.
he's always like just fully in character when he goes on to a talk show sometimes.
Yeah,
He, like,
yeah.
doesn't break.
I've seen him do that.
Yeah.
Like I think it was Conan where he showed up with a parrot on his shoulder. and refused to acknowledge that there was a
Yes.
bird on his shoulder.
So this movie is made up of outtakes, different like takes, and scrapped storylines to make a completely new movie.
Wake up, Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. So there's 3 Ron Burgundy movies actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about like all the, remember Tropic Thunder? There was all that stuff about like it was like footage of Robert Downey Jr. in his backyard.
That is like the most
Hysterical.
brilliant thing that ever existed.
Hysterical.
Really?
So
Yes.
it's I don't know if you've ever, well, first of all, the Tropic Thunder commentary track is amazing.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
But Robert Downey Jr. remains in character the entire
That's
time.
great. As,
So-
as Lazarus, Kurt Lazarus,
As Lazarus
doing the black guy.
Osiris.
and he stays like him until he like takes his stuff off, and then he becomes Kirk Lazarus. And he's only Robert Downey Jr. for the last like 5 seconds of the movie. Like as credits roll, he's like, "Oh, thanks everybody." Like
So funny.
I'm a guy doing another guy.
I'm a
Yeah.
dude disguised as another dude.
So-
pretends to be a dude.
So that's amazing. But on the Blu-ray, I think there's a documentary
We
about
watched
Robert
it.
Downey Jr. staying in character as
These children.
Osiris
Yeah.
Cloverleaf, I think his name is. And he's like screaming at his kids, making them do PT at like
Outside.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
and they're like a Hawaii
He has a
hotel.
Yeah.
pistol and
And he's like
pointing
doing
out.
like crawls and shit.
Yeah. You
It
do
is-
shit with like hot dogs.
Yeah, it's fucking hysterical
So good.
footage.
So good.
It's worth watching.
Oh, that's funny.
How did
Anyway.
we end up here?
I don't know.
But the royalty sees her as a threat, and
Well, now
they
she's in the
set
hand of
her
the
up
enemy.
to get captured.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the case in real life.
No, they
I don't
didn't
think so.
they didn't set her up, but she
But she
got
got
captured. I think there's a possibility she may have actually like given herself up,
Yeah.
and it was
Oh, fuck.
everyone assumed that the Charles VII was going to pay for her release, you know,
And he didn't.
as a ransom,
Yeah.
and he just didn't.
More trouble than it's worth.
She was more trouble than it was worth.
I guess.
So the Burgundians, who want to make a quick buck, just sold her to the English.
Right.
Uh,
Because they want to put her on trial.
right, and the English, of course, want to.
They hate
They
her
want to kill her.
guts.
Yes.
Yeah, they want to kill her.
They need her destroyed. So they put her on trial.
Mhm.
They come up with 70
Counts of heresy.
yeah, and all like, but they can't get her on anything.
Mm-hmm.
So 58 of these charges get thrown out of court. And what ends up sticking is that there's this obscure passage in the Bible where women cannot wear men's clothing.
Deuteronomy?
Is it? I don't know. I don't know
believe
what
it's
it
Deuteronomy.
is.
That's the cat from Cats. I'm
Well,
not
it's
kidding.
one of the books of the
The
Bible.
cat.
But they find this passage and they get her like, okay, you're a heretic because you wore men's clothes.
And that's why you're going to burn.
Right. Well, no. They have her in prison this whole time, and she's being like tortured,
Of course.
like assault, like harassed.
Yeah.
Not like torture's the wrong word, but she's being fucked with, and she's being treated very poorly. They're probably starving her. Her guards strip her naked.
This is in the movie.
In the movie.
This is what happened in
Yes.
real life too.
Oh, really?
Her
Yeah.
guards strip her naked. She signs a confession. This is in the movie.
Yes.
And the thing that she signs is that, yes, I wore men's clothes and that makes me a heretic.
Now,
Right.
some of the things in the movie, the actual lines in the trial are direct quotes of things that
From the
were said in real life.
transcripts?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, her guards strip her naked, and they give her men's clothes as the only thing she could possibly wear. Now she knows that if she's naked, there's a good chance she's going to get raped.
Yeah.
So she puts the men's clothes on, and now this is a violation of her, the confession she's run. Now she's sinned again,
Mm-hmm.
so now they can burn her.
Right.
So it's it was a
They were
setup.
going to kill her anyway.
Yeah, they were looking for
Or
an
just
excuse
any
to kill her.
reason to kill her.
Right.
Okay. Deuteronomy 22:5. This is from the King James Version. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all who do so are abomination unto Lord
What?
thy God. That is Deuteronomy 22:5. Is that New Test or Old
No.
Test?
No, that's old, I believe.
That's
yes.
interesting.
Yeah, that's old.
Now, while So that's the real life before we get to the end.
Yeah.
In the movie,
And it's all done very well in the movie.
oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's slowed down, but it's fantastic because you know the end.
Yeah.
You know, but
everyone knew she was burning.
yeah.
Right?
But it's interesting to see the
Burn,
context.
bitch, burn.
Whoa, kiss.
Let's talk about Dustin Hoffman in this because I think
Okay.
we're going to have some different perspectives.
So when she's in prison, Dustin Hoffman starts appearing to her. His
He is
character
cloaked.
is called
Black
the Conscience
Yes,
in the movie.
He's in a black cloak.
Yeah. Now I thought he was Jesus at first.
So did I.
He's not.
He's
not.
her conscience.
He's her conscience.
That's the
He
title.
is doubt,
yes,
essentially.
maybe.
Um.
I think it's a little different.
Okay. What's your take?
I think it is God.
You think it is. It could be.
I think 100% it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it. When they say it in the movie,
his final words lend credence to that. When he's
more than that.
Well, doesn't he absolve
More than
her
that.
and give her confession?
Yes, he does. But she also says, you know, God told me to do this, and
Mhm.
he goes, God told you to do this.
you told you.
Like,
to
you
do
told you to do it. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? That to me seems like I didn't tell you.
it. It's great
You know,
because
like-
the accent you're using is the one he uses.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you sound just
You
like
sounded
one.
just like him.
God told you? I didn't tell you.
I didn't tell you to do that.
You didn't kill anyone? You were waving that song around. I was waving the sword around. You know, what are you talking about? I think this scene.
Dustin Hoffman's here in the room. with
Right.
us.
I think.
Why
this-
didn't you tell us you had a Dustin Hoffman in your back pocket?
I don't know. I didn't think I did. I'm just.
Do me a favor. Just
doing my
go.
own
Yes, it's safe. It's very safe.
Yes, it's safe. It's very safe. I don't know. I think I could. But in this part, I was like, yeah, this is definitely God talking. Especially like how you said this is almost anti that.
Mhm.
I think it kind of pushes it into no, this is God. This was God kind of speaking, but she might
It
have
could be. You
she
could
might have
definitely
interpreted
that
it incorrectly.
way. Mhm.
What like, yeah, I'll warn you of this stuff, but I didn't want you like taking revenge on people. I didn't want you to kill. I wanted you to warn people and save them. And you took it upon yourself to be violent.
Mhm.
You took it upon yourself to get captured. You took it upon yourself to live that life when all I was doing was giving you God's word to say, hey, these attacks are going to happen. Hey, your village is burning. Hey, there's going to be a battle this morning. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it could hey,
Foresight.
Yeah.
There's also that scene where he's like, who'd you do this for, yourself or me?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Right.
you said to me, those who love me.
Yeah. Those
Yeah.
are
Which
me.
is, she said that in real life,
Yes.
the real Joan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's also kind of Luc Besson questioning, when you say that, to me, those who love me,
Yeah.
as a historical record, I think we could look at it, you know,
Is it
500
narcissism,
years
or are you
later.
speaking for God?
Right.
And why not for those who love God to me?
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
you're saying for me.
Mhm.
You can question that.
Right.
Mhm.
And obviously, a lot of modern people would just say she was a crazy schizophrenic.
Well, I think
Still could be.
that's another interpretation. That's good, and I think that's probably the one that I think you're supposed to take
Mhm.
as far as the.
I think they leave it open enough for you.
It's open enough,
Sure.
where you could go either way, but the only reason to do it in this way is to open up that take on it. You know, because all the way through, it's like, okay, yeah, God's talking to
God,
her. That's
yeah.
what the movie's telling us. But now they bring this in to be like, is it God or is she a crazy person?
Mhm.
Yes.
So that has to be
and if she is a
the
crazy
take you're
person,
supposed
right?
to take.
If she is a crazy person, let's say hypothetically,
Mhm.
it is the most effective
Crazy person.
psychosis of all time.
Yes.
All the things that need to go right
Go right.
Mhm.
for this to happen and work. And then she leads a revolution in our country in military control.
Yeah.
We know a schizophrenic.
Yes, we do.
There is no way that guy is leading fucking anybody. Like,
No.
imagine if like he
He's
went to us, he's
yeah.
like, yo, like,
He's not a leader of men.
the last time we knew
The
him,
United
like,
States government isn't giving him 6,000.
the last time we knew him,
Yeah.
Obama was president, right? Imagine
Yeah.
if he's like, yo, like, God
Oh,
spoke to me.
Obama.
I
let me get some
gotta go
troops.
talk to Obama. And like, he walks into the White House and gets in.
Hey, they gave me a tank.
Bro, yo, like, you gotta let me go. And like, God told me we gotta
told
take Canada. Like,
Come to my office.
Like, and now he's in charge of a major military occupation.
Nobody knows what they said, but now he's got 10,000 men. We don't know how.
Yo, to me, those who love me, like.
Yo, everybody who's like a sick dude, follow me.
Oh shit, I'm a sick dude.
I want to be sick too. Yo, all these sick dudes are going up there. Gotta get up there. Did you do it for you, or did you do it for God?
They send Dustin Hoffman in the
Yo, are you the guy from Meet the Fockers? You look just like him.
Nobody told you to take that tank and drive it to the wall.
I'm walking.
Were you walking or no? I'm on that opposite side, and she burns. She burns the stake.
Now, the executioner claims that after her body was burnt 3 times, there was one piece of her that remained, and it was her heart, and it was still beating.
Holy shit.
That is what her executioner says. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
That's crazy.
Well, you know, the saint artifacts and things have a tendency to not decay properly. They tend to stay juicy for very long periods of time.
Yeah. Just like in what's it called? In Bruges, the church that they're in, the drops of blood that they took a long time to dry.
Yeah, the executioner claimed that Joan's heart resisted the flames and had been found intact among the ashes. So
she was burned alive at 19, huh? So she did all that in like a year?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. My 19th year was not as cool.
I know, right? Makes you feel like you didn't.
I suck.
You don't really accomplish much.
Well, God didn't want to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
He was talking.
No, he wants to talk to you, and you keep ignoring him.
He was talking. Yeah, God wanted me to like save the world.
You're a leader of men, Brian.
You know what I could do instead, God? I could do a podcast. I can do that for you.
Well, there's already a Saint Anthony and Steve, right? So we're kind of shit out of luck with that.
Gotta be a Saint Brian.
Yeah, I think we're all.
Is there a
Gotta be some Irishman?
You think that is there? I know there's a Saint Anthony. Obviously, I know there's a Saint Stephen. I don't know if there's a Brian. Are you the next saint?
There's Brian O'Callaghan.
Of course.
Wasn't he in Clerks?
Okay. Yeah, I think he was. He's not supposed to be here today.
Yeah. St. Brian's Day. St. Brian Arrowsmith.
What day is St. Brian?
Oh my God.
What? That's a name, St. Brian Arrowsmith?
Okay, there isn't a St. Brian per se, but St. Edmund Arrowsmith, his name isn't even Brian.
So wait, there's no St. Brian?
Arrowsmith?
There's
train kept her rolling?
I see one in front of me.
You know what my saint pose would be?
What was that?
What? Oh, the fist. Yeah.
St.
Brian's fist.
Imagine that in stained glass.
St. Brian's fist in stained glass. That'll actually be your saintly artifact. Your saintly artifact will be the fist closed.
The fist of Brian.
St. Brian's fist.
Holy shit. I'm just thinking about sitting in a church looking at a stained glass picture of Brian.
A Kiss shirt. TSD hat.
10 years from now, it'll be.
Yeah.
Can I end up the patron?
No, it takes like hundreds of years.
No, I want you to see it though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll make sure he sees it if I'm
People in
saint.
700 years are looking at St. Brian.
The fist.
Holy.
The fist with it almost looked like a St. Anger fist, but it's like lower. It's like the opposite of it.
Yes, the venerable brain.
The patron saint of podcasting.
Do you know they say when St. Brian blessed the football field, the Jets won?
His first miracle was stealing money from a bunch of St. Jude's kids.
The name of St. Brian, always take half.
Render unto God that which is God. Render unto Brian that which is Brian.
Oh shit! So funny.
You greedy bastard.
Hey. I'm trying to raise money for some kids.
Yeah, sure you are.
I was. I am. I've raised a lot of money from St.
You
Jude's.
still gotta wet your beak.
Did I ever tell you when I scammed money out of people for St. Jude?
No.
I never told you this?
No.
You remember this, right, Steve? Yeah. So Applebee's, like the court, like, we worked for like the New York Applebee's company. It was a franchise.
Apple
they had
Metro.
like Apple Metro. They had like, let's say 50 Applebee's, right?
Yeah, you work in Applebee's. You're a waiter.
Mad Beats.
They had a contest within the company.
Mm-hmm.
Who could raise the most money for St. Jude's?
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was to raise the money, I would work, in sections that didn't have happy hour. And I would tell the guests, if you donate to St. Jude's,
Maybe you get happy.
I can unlock the thing.
Is that true? Could
Yeah.
you do that?
No, you were able to do that anyway. You just weren't supposed to.
But if you're going to donate to charity, I'm going to hook you up.
Right.
Yeah, that was very nice of you.
I raised
weird
more
way.
money than anybody
Anyone
in the
like,
company
New York.
by like an insane degree. And I won the company contest. Like I blew everyone out of the water. It wasn't close.
You also cost the company tons of money.
Yeah.
That I don't care
That
about.
store shut down.
No, they're open.
A lot of people are out of a job.
They're open. But I raised money for charity.
So he still got to wet his beak with it.
St. Jude's.
Brian always gets his cut.
We look at the stained glass. It's the fist of the Dr. Pepper.
He's surrounded by fat stacks at his feet.
It's gold coins at his feet.
Yeah.
So St. Jude sent me this really nice letter, right? It was really nice to receive. And they sent me this picture frame, right?
Uh-huh.
That I wanted to display. It was like, thank you so much for like what you've done
You're
for us
proud
and
of
all
it.
this. I was very proud of it.
That's very nice.
But I couldn't hang it up because in the picture frame was a picture of a cancer-ridden child.
Oh,
And I just don't want to put, it's weird to have that up in your house.
very sad.
It's sad, but it's something very nice that you did.
I'm happy I have it,
Yeah.
Yes.
but I can't display it, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be reminded of kids with cancer.
Yeah. I get
Yeah,
it.
it's also
sad.
like
It's
a
sad.
random child of cancer.
But
I'm
you
going to
still
put it
have,
up on my
you still
wall.
have it?
I have it, yeah.
Okay, good. As long as you
That's
you
nice.
keep it. Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah, St. Jude's is my favorite charity. Do you guys use Smile with Amazon?
I don't know what that is.
So, all right.
No.
So if you go to smile.amazon.com,
Mm-hmm.
all your Amazon purchases, you can actually have a certain percentage of it go to charity.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So when you do your Amazon shopping, I have it set up for St. Jude's.
Mhm.
Okay.
All whatever I spend, a certain percentage goes to them.
Nice. That's nice. Of
That
you.
is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer in charity.
Do you know who else
I am.
was?
This isn't a bit.
Do you know who else was a strong believer in charity?
Who's that?
Wasn't Jesus a strong believer in charity?
Sure, yeah.
He's the next coming.
The second coming.
Well, we tried that, then the shit went awry.
Could I become a
So-
priest? Is it too late?
No.
Yes.
Is it?
He's married. He fucks.
He could be a deacon.
He sins a
He
lot.
could be a deacon, right? He can't be a priest. He
Yeah,
can be a deacon.
I think he could be.
But you got to go to school for that, right?
Yeah.
You got to go like
Well,
10 years
I'd
of
have to
school.
change my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. He's also Jewish. Like, we forget that part.
He just has to get baptized.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He could do that, right?
Yeah, you can do it.
If I wanted.
Get him can do it for you.
Yeah.
It's
You
fine.
can get that
We'll get it
priest
done.
from
We'll
the
get it
other
done.
day.
We've been very
who was-
religious the last few days.
We have. I don't know why there's so
Yeah.
much religiosity on the show lately.
It just
Well,
be-
I think the topics
Yeah.
that we're covering have it.
It just
so.
became the church cast
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Brian had a rude priest baptize his kid.
Oh my god, that guy's
Oh,
a fucking
yeah.
dickhead. he's doing the baptism, and
He was
he
doing bits.
basically stops to go, "You got an ugly kid," to someone.
Yeah, he was doing bits.
Your
I
girl
loved
looks
it.
like a boy.
Yeah.
Maybe invest in some earrings for that ugly
Hey,
kid.
It was Rodney.
Why is your wife so round? She pregnant? It's like, holy shit, this guy is wild.
He just wanted to see what shit he could say as a priest and get
Yeah.
away with, right?
He got away with all of it.
Yeah, he's a dick, that guy.
I kind of liked him.
Yeah. He was throwing down zingers nonstop. It was good. All right. Do we want to look at the picture or rate? Because it looks like you got that in your hand. Do you have
we
a
can do the
picture?
picture? I think this one's accurate.
That's what you chose to draw?
What else would I draw?
Just a woman burning on the stake, a stick figure woman
Yeah.
It looks like a stripper spinning.
on
not
grass.
On
On grass.
She's not on the stake. She's just on the side. But yeah, that's the stake. That makes sense. That's
okay.
that's
Well, I
clear.
did that before the movie even
That's
started.
clear.
I mean, I know where it's heading.
All right.
Clear. It's clear. Okay, that's good.
All right.
I want to rate it first because I give a high rating, higher than I thought I would give. Hearing that about this movie, I was just like, oh, I'm probably gonna give this like a 6. You
Mhm.
know, I give it a 9.
Wow.
I
That's
really
very high.
I liked it, and I also think the separation of the first and second act was done brilliantly. The acting's good, the gore is good. It doesn't look too great, but it's fun at times.
It's kind of fun.
and sad.
What are like some of
It's
the biggest
very-
criticisms?
It's
you give
fairly
to the
in depth. It has depth to this. The criticism
movie?
that I
Yeah.
give to this,
I feel like there's
there's very little. I don't have that much.
none of the characters seem to be like main characters.
Or memorable.
You know?
No, but they're all likable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
Like-
Joan of Arc isn't that like main.
I know.
You know?
That's what's weird about it.
But at the same
Everybody,
time,
it's like we're telling a story, and everyone's kind of a bit player in it. Every single person.
Mhm.
You know?
Well, because there's only one main character. God.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman, which maybe that to his point. Yeah, maybe that's it. What'd you rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay,
I liked it a lot.
7's good.
but it wasn't one of the best things I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little lower than Ant. I'm 6.5.
6.5.
I gave it 3 on Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I don't think I would ever watch it again.
I would watch it again.
Yeah.
I felt like it kind of dragged for me. You know,
I was never bored. It's a long movie too. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
yeah, it just, I don't know, it just didn't move my needle really. I did like kind of the little questioning of things at the end. It got me thinking a bit, but you know, I didn't think it was anything special or memorable.
All right, cool.
I mean, there's some cool action though,
Mm.
like that when the balls are crushing people. I was loving it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I like the big moving thing and shoots arrows forward.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's cool. But anyway, that's
Good
it.
movie. Worth checking out.
Yeah, I think it's got some way more history than I thought. I bumped
Yeah.
it up. I bumped it up a point for that.
Mhm.
I didn't realize how much was true.
Got
so
to bump it up.
I did a little dance. if you couldn't see.
Steve's going to DJs.
I've never been there. I don't think it has anyone. Have you?
I've been to DJs.
You've been to
twice.
DJs?
Twice. Twice.
How'd you do?
How'd I do at DJs?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Do people know what DJs is?
You know, you
Maybe
know what I
explain
mean.
it.
You know what
that
I
seems
mean.
very local.
You know.
Yeah.
It could have been a fucking casino for all they know. How'd you do?
I did go with a chick I was into the first time I went there.
Okay.
I didn't do well.
DJs is like the Jersey Shore club. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like where they go on
it's
the
like where the
Jersey
Guidos,
Shore.
it's where the Guidos go.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Jersey Shore Guidos from the TV show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Driving DJs in my car.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
Woo.
How'd you
All
do the
right.
second time you went?
Second time I went, I didn't do well either. It's really not my scene.
Whenever we've been in those
We
situations,
stick out.
Clubbing.
like the few times we've all been to clubs,
Yeah.
it's like the most awkward thing ever. We know we don't belong.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Right.
We're not these people.
It's just like
Yeah.
when you're 22, it's like, this is where I'm supposed to
This
go.
is where my peers
Yeah.
are, so
Yeah.
here I am now.
Yeah, it never works out.
And then we usually ended up just going playing poker at 4 a.m. or
Yeah.
going to like Well Hop. That was it.
All right.
Anyway,
That's it, guys.
that is it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you are watching, you don't know. Maybe we recorded with a little company called Riverside. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we did. I don't know.
Ready, guys? Say goodbye.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, hit your notification bell. I don't think we're on the naughty list anymore, so
Just do it anyway.
do it anyway. But share us. Tell your friends. Tell your family. buy some stuff on reviewinghistory.com. We have some lovely, lovely limited edition shirts. If you don't want the limited edition, you can get another one. We got hoodies, we got mugs, anything you need.
Limited edition sweater.
Sweater, shirt.
How
Got
many
some stuff.
times are we gonna talk about the sweater?
Non-stop.
We gotta-
We're pushing
we gotta-
it from now
We
until
gotta,
it's all
we gotta move. We gotta move the
We're
sweaters.
moving this like Brian selling
We gotta
fucking
move the
half
sweaters.
price apps to St. Jude.
for St. Jude, not to St. Jude. I would give St. Jude free appetizers from Applebee's.
Wow.
Wow, you're a
I
saint.
can't think of anything. I can't think of anything greater.
Than Mott sticks.
Endless monsters.
That's what kids need. Early on,
Kids love Mott sticks.
they're delicious.
Yeah, you don't like monsters?
I like Mott sticks
Oh, I was gonna
fine.
say.
It's just I'm saying kids really.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
All right,
It's one of their favorite foods.
it's great. Do you know I never had a Mott stick until I was like 19?
Why not?
I was like, this
he
is
hated Italians.
no. I was like, this is too much. I was like, this is too much for me to handle.
He just couldn't do it.
It wasn't that he hated Italians.
Yes. He's like, they brought this here. I can't. I can't have it.
All right. Want to give a big thank you to everybody listening and or watching. Big thank you to Brywalt Q. Get him, letting us record down in the studio. Thank you guys so much. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Please follow the show on all social media, Review History Pod on Twitter, Reviewing History Pod everywhere else. Please go on Bandcamp. You could pre-order our Christmas album or just wait for it to come out on November 24th at midnight, the 23rd. We're very excited about that. Bunch of Christmas tracks for you. Hopefully you like that. Limited edition merch on the website. Follow me personally on all social media at Brian Rupert. That's Rupert with 2 P's. Thank you guys so much for listening and or watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.